Ladies and gentlemen, according to Paulina Luna, Congresswoman from Florida, tomorrow is the vote to censor and fine Adam Schiff $16 million. This is for continually stating things that were not only baseless, blatant lies, lies by omission, helping create a Red Scare McCarthy era in American politics. This mentality that Trump was working for another country when the Mueller probe found zero evidence that he was. The only thing they ever said was, well, he had concerning ties. Nobody had greater ties than Bill and Hillary or other Democrats, Hunter too, to people within that country. Okay, nobody. Trump has no ties compared to Democrats. So they keep on moving the goalposts, and they keep saying, well, the Mueller probe didn't find that he coordinated with another country, but there were concerning and really problematic things that took place. Like Manafort gave polling data to this person. Like, what? Who cares? How on earth did that affect anything? And so what they do is they create an alternate universe. What the Democratic Party did was create an alternate universe that people actually truly believe. They think that Trump said both sides are good people. He never, ever said that. The context was completely distorted and twisted. He literally condemned those people that day. Trump never removed protesters for a photo op. He never did any of those things. He never got advance notice of the DNC issue. None of these things happened. You had numerous reporters kicked out of CNN. You had about 30 to 40 major stories that were completely fabricated or just false about Trump in major publications. And then they sheepishly retract the story after they get their wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat base frenzied up with this apoplectic hysteria over Trump. And then you'll have the Washington Post or the Times or other publications, in the most cowardly manner after they've had major headlines with Trump doing something he didn't do. They'll have a retraction. Well, the Washington Post actually literally fabricated quotes in a phone call in Georgia and then retracted and said, well, you know what? We don't really actually have the transcript, but this is what was told to us. And of course, the actual transcript was not that. Anyway, Adam Schiff continuously stated things that were not true. Not just things that were not true. He led the Democratic Party in accusing Trump of something he didn't do. Okay? This is an important fact. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. To my Patreons, thank you. The Patreon is below. To the super thanks, thank you. The new members, thank you. And if you want to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications, go to hagoodman.com. We'll be having some really wonderful interviews very soon on this channel. And Adam Schiff is also possibly going to be fined $16 million by the House of Representatives. Very few people in this country have stated things that were... What he did was continuously state things that were not true. Okay? When the Washington Post says democracy perishes in darkness, or the New York Times continuously every single day writes about how Trump is a menace, they don't acknowledge the lies told by a person like the California congressman. There are no 40,000. They never tally the lies. Like with Trump, it was such a petulant, sophomoric, sad, pathetic stunt. 40,000 lies. We rated 6.755 Pinocchios. How many lies do you think Adam Schiff told in about 200 to 300 times on MSNBC and CNN? Not to mention Meet the Press and all the other stations or shows. He stated he had evidence that Trump worked with the Kremlin. It never happened. Trump never worked with the Kremlin. These are the same people who react in righteous indignation when Trump doesn't accept results. Not for one day did they accept results. Then, in the most disingenuous, duplicitous manner, they'll say, of course we accepted, but we had reason to be suspicious. Well, according to Trump, he does also. Reason to be suspicious is not justification for plunging the country into a new Cold War. The Berlin Wall fell, okay? It's 30 plus years ago. They created this hysteria because Democrats don't really have any policies. Poverty has gone up under the Democratic Party. When AOC says, Republicans are immoral, they're trying to cut food assistance. It's AOC and Bernie Sanders and the Democratic Party and Biden who presided over inflation and food costs going up while they actively said inflation was temporary. Okay, they said inflation was temporary in 2021. It wasn't an issue. They were taking a victory lap. Now we're heading towards more bank runs. And then they say, the bank runs are from deregulation. The bank runs are from interest rates going from near zero to where they are at today in less than a year. In less than a year. And obviously you have banks, not just in the U.S., around the world that are facing bankruptcy. Dodd-Frank is just for the U.S. Dodd-Frank doesn't, regulate banks in other countries. So why are these banks in other countries going under? Because you have the same liberal democratic policies in other countries as well. They flooded their economies like we did with $10 trillion or trillions in monetary and fiscal stimulus. AOC and others wanted an eviction moratorium while they pushed to shut down the economy. Think about how you'd have to be an imbecile not to realize how counterproductive that is. You're preventing people from working when 80% of those who perished from were 65 and older with numerous conditions. The U.S. labor force is 40 years old. Around 40 years old. Okay? You shut down the U.S. labor force. They couldn't work, put food on the table, or pay rent. Then you pretend that you're the good, noble Democrats and you push for an eviction moratorium. But you prevented people from working. So then you have the ladies at The View trying to, reprimand Tim Scott, Senator Tim Scott, and he's saying, hey, you know what? America's a fantastic place. Obviously, no country in the world has, reached the dream of, what it can be. But we live in an amazing country where anything is possible. And then the ladies of The View say, well, what about the systemic issues? Go to any Democratic-run city. You will see the most systemic issues, the greatest poverty. Where in this country are the areas of greatest poverty? Then who presides over the politics? It's Democrats. You could say, well, there's red states. Okay, but look, the cities that are the poorest within those red states, because the red state, you could say, Mississippi and West Virginia, or Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. Okay, those are red states. Now, what cities have the highest poverty rate within those states, and what political party runs those cities? It's the Democratic Party. So it's a complete racket. And so instead of addressing the poverty they create with their own policies, they blame Trump for being an operative of another country. Complete lie. And, the democracy perishes in darkness. That's what they all say. It's like, well, it's already gone then. Because when they say Trump lies, nobody on the planet lies more than the people after Trump. Trump is like a saint compared to media and Democrats and all the people that are after Trump. And Adam Schiff did not learn that the Cold War had already ended. President Obama stated the 80s want their foreign policy back to Romney. McCain and Romney were the hawks to Russia, not President Obama. But then, of course, they lost. Clinton lost to Trump, and it was the end of the world. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. According to Paulina, they will be voting tomorrow to censor and fine Adam Schiff. Thank you so very much. I'll be back.